Agentic AI in industry, power, potential, and the data gap. Agentic AI is emerging as one of the most talked about innovations in asset-intensive industries. Many describe it as the next major step toward autonomous operations, where AI systems analyze information, execute tasks, and support decision-making across the plant. The industrial reality is more complex. Organizations in oil and gas, chemicals, power, mining, and heavy manufacturing face significant gaps in readiness. Unstructured data, unclear governance, fragmented systems, and competing expectations make agentic AI difficult to deploy. Leaders see the promise but struggle to turn early enthusiasm into results that can be trusted in daily operations. ReVisionz sees this challenge often, which is why our work focuses on building the conditions that allow agentic AI to perform reliably. Chapter 1. In our Agentic AI in Industry series explains what agentic AI is, what it is not, where it creates value, and why adoption often stalls. The perspective comes from ReVisionz' long history helping organizations strengthen asset information and operational data environments, along with lessons from early AI pilots, where technology alone could not overcome gaps in structure, context, or data quality. The insights that follow shape how ReVisionz guides organizations toward practical and responsible AI use. Introduce agentic AI responsibly and effectively. Agentic AI refers to systems that can perceive information, reason independently, and take action within defined limits. In industrial settings, this includes AI that ingests live plant data to recommend or initiate actions that support reliability and performance. Introducing this capability requires caution and clarity. AI agents are powerful, but they only work well when teams understand where autonomy begins and ends and what conditions must exist to keep decisions safe. ReVisionz reinforces this during early planning, so AI strengthens operational judgment rather than bypassing it. Agentic AI should be understood as a tool that augments maintenance, operations, reliability, asset information management, and technical teams. A force multiplier that automates routine work. A governed system that supports, not replaces, human decision-making when it's required. For example, an AI agent may reconcile thickness readings across the historian IDMS and inspection reports, then alert an MI engineer when corrosion rates shift. The agent speeds up analysis, but the engineer remains responsible for interpreting risk. This balance between speed and oversight is essential and becomes even more important as use cases expand across the asset base. Understanding agentic AI. Industrial agentic AI operates through three foundational capabilities: perception, the ability to gather, link, and interpret data from multiple systems like APM, CMMS, AIM repositories, historians, process sensors, operator rounds, documentation, and OEM metadata. Reasoning, the ability to analyze conditions, identify anomalies, detect patterns, and determine recommended actions or next steps. This may include ranking risks, comparing operating envelopes, predicting failures, or identifying reliability improvement opportunities. Action, the ability to create notifications, update logs, trigger pre-approved workflows, or generate reports always with appropriate governance and human oversight. In practice, agentic AI supports daily work by detecting early shifts in equipment behavior, linking integrity operating window or IOW events to maintenance history, and surfacing missing documentation during handover. It produces reliability reports from live data and adjusts PM recommendations as conditions change. In quality environments, it traces deviations back to upstream factors so teams understand root causes. And these capabilities strengthen AIM, asset management, maintenance, and reliability functions, and improve the insight behind everyday decisions. Why hype outpaces readiness? The promise of agentic AI is powerful, and industry leaders are under increasing pressure to adopt it. However, many organizations lack the foundational elements required for safe and scalable deployment. Several recurring themes explain this gap: pressure to adopt without a roadmap. Organizational momentum often pushes AI adoption before teams are ready. Companies want AI-enabled operations, new solutions proliferate quickly, and site teams must absorb these expectations despite incomplete hierarchies, missing failure modes, and siloed project and operations data. Agentic AI needs a structured roadmap, and without one, initiatives stall or fail to deliver meaningful results. Infrastructure that can't support ambition. Agentic AI relies on well-connected systems and clean data pipelines. Unfortunately, typical industrial environments often contain an EAM system with inconsistent or incomplete attributes, APM models lacking real-time data feeds, and more. The intent may be autonomous decision support, but the reality is often fragmented information that slows AI performance and reduces accuracy. Governance constraints that complicate deployment. Agentic AI works only when data remains accurate and well-structured. Many organizations treat cleanup as a one-time task, but effective deployment requires ongoing governance. Issues arise when ownership is unclear, standards vary, or updates occur without control, leading to data drift through missing attributes, incorrect mappings, or outdated documentation. Strong governance keeps information aligned with plant changes and gives AI agents the clarity they need to interpret assets with confidence. The hard truth about AI agents. Effectively deploying Agentic AI requires acknowledging several fundamental truths rooted in asset management and AIM practices. Accuracy depends on anchored inputs. AI. I cannot reason accurately without well-structured, contextualized inputs. Incomplete or inconsistent data, such as missing parent-child relationships, unstructured operator comments, or non-standard failure codes, erodes model accuracy. Speed depends on how information is organized. AI performance is not just limited by model speed and technology, it is also limited by data accessibility. When asset data is spread across multiple ungoverned platforms, results become harder to validate and less reliable for operational decisions. Context shapes the value of every result. Raw data does not explain what action should be taken. Context determines whether an AI recommendation is useful, safe, or economically sound. Asset criticality, operating limits, spare availability, and planned outages all influence the right response. For example, an agent may detect a compressor trending toward failure, but context clarifies whether action is needed now or can wait for a scheduled shutdown. Building the foundation for effective agentic AI. Building the foundation for effective agentic AI.png. ReVisionz helps organizations succeed with agentic AI by building the data foundations these systems rely on. Agentic AI performs well when supported by clean and well-governed information that reflects how assets actually work. This includes aligned hierarchies, validated tag relationships, consistent coding, complete documentation, structured PM tasks, mapped historian signals, and clear operating envelopes. ReVisionz develops these structures so AI agents work from a coherent and accurate view of each asset. With this foundation in place, organizations can start with a clear operational question, build only the data needed for that question, and deploy agents for routine tasks such as checking operator rounds or identifying overdue maintenance. Human oversight remains essential, and ReVisionz designs workflows that keep responsibility with the teams who understand operational risk. Early use cases often include checking operator rounds against the historian, identifying overdue maintenance on critical assets, reconciling inconsistent engineering documentation, running automated corrosion projections, flagging deviations from IOW limits. As initial workflows stabilize, organizations can scale their agentic capabilities with confidence, turning potential into performance. Agentic AI represents an important evolution in the reliability, maintenance, operations, and AM landscape. While the hype is widespread, real industrial value depends on readiness. Clean data, strong governance, connected systems, clear workflows, and structured implementation. Organizations that approach agentic AI deliberately and responsibly will gain a meaningful competitive advantage. Those that attempt to deploy it without foundations will struggle to achieve results. This chapter serves as an educational guide for leaders seeking to understand the true requirements and practical pathways for bringing agentic AI into their industrial environments. If you're exploring where to begin, we can guide your digital journey with the right groundwork for reliable agentic AI. Connect with us to get started and subscribe to follow the next chapters in our Agentic AI in Industry series.